All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Los Angeles Rams. I'm having a hard time getting a gauge on this football team here because, everywhere you're looking right now, if you are checking the media sites, everyone's tearing down the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously you go from a Super Bowl victory to a 5-12 season where they were just historically unbelievably injured at key positions. Guys like Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, your entire offensive line. It felt like Aaron Donald, just top to bottom, injuries were horrible for this Rams team last season. But once again, just 2 years ago, they won the Super Bowl. So it's like, all right, they got rid of a ton of key veterans, guys like Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Floyd, Bobby Wagner, Allen Robinson II. They lost a lot of pieces. And in free agency and in the offseason in general, they basically pretty much did nothing. Pretty much did nothing. Now, you pair that stuff all together and you get, I don't even know. It's just hard to really assess this football team because, all right, they got rid of a bunch of the key players that were there in the Super Bowl and they got younger. However, they're not in a full blown rebuild, and you still have Matthew Stafford, you still have Cooper Kupp. So it's like, what do we have here? That's what we are going to talk about in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. This is actually my first ever Los Angeles Rams video on this channel. So Rams fans, NFL fans, if we could get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the world to me. And obviously, if you want more Rams content, be sure to let me know down below. So one of the reasons I'm making this video here is because everywhere I'm looking right now, and I love to make Seahawks videos, I like to make Niners videos, I love NFL videos in general, but everywhere I'm looking right now, if you take the NFC West in general, a lot of people are saying, all right, yeah, you're going to have San Francisco at number one, you're going to have Seattle at number two, and then Arizona and LA are going to battle for not only the worst team in the NFC West, but they're going to battle for the worst team in the National Football League. And I take a look at it and I take everything from last year and I put it together and I'm like, their Vegas win-loss projection is 6.5. I don't think they can be worse than they were last year. I really don't. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, when both of those two cats are healthy, it's enough to win more than 6.5 football games. Simply, we go back to 2021. I mean, Stafford basically threw for just about 5,000 yards. He had 41 touchdowns. He had 17 interceptions. You had Cooper Kupp, who just had a phenomenal season, led the league he won the Triple Crown in football. Led the league in catches, 145. Led the lead in receiving yards, 1,947, almost 2,000, and touchdowns, 16. And last season, both Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford battled injuries, and they both missed 8 games. All right. So if both of them are healthy, there's no way the Rams replicate a 5-12 record. Even if they got rid of so many pieces on the defensive side and got rid of so many pieces in general, which honestly was a ticking time bomb. It had to be done. And I actually like a lot of the young pieces that they have. And I think they have some hidden gems, some diamonds in the rough. And you pair all that together, there's no way that they win 5 games next season. There's just no way. I mean, Matthew Stafford is a stud. Cooper Kupp is a stud. And then we could even look at the running back position. I know that the Cam Akers situation was just super weird. He was very confused about his role last season. The Rams were like, all right, we're going to bench you and we're going to trade you. That didn't end up happening. Cam Akers ended the season almost 800 total rushing yards the last 3 games. 3 straight 100-plus rushing games. So I like Cam Akers a lot, and it looks like he's going to be a part of the Rams long term. So you have Matthew Stafford, you have Cam Akers, you have obviously Cooper Kupp there. The receiving unit is a little interesting in general. There's a lot of enticing pieces like Tutu. For me personally, I like Van Jefferson a lot when he's healthy. Hopefully he's healthy for his, what was this going to be, his 4th season. Hopefully he can kind of break out for the Rams. I think if we're looking at breakout candidates, I'm looking at either Van Jefferson or Cam Akers at that running back position. So offensively speaking, I don't think they're going to be the worst in the NFL. I think that their offense in general, with Sean McVay, because keep in mind, good teams find ways to win. Good coach teams find ways to win. And Sean McVay this past season, historically, it was just a debacle. The offensive line specifically, Stafford not playing in training camp, he comes onto the team and, there's no rapport, there's no chemistry. It's just, you're kind of building from scratch, which should have been done in the summer had everyone been healthy. You're losing all these pieces on the offensive line, then you lose like the offense in general. The Rams season last year, it's hard to really evaluate it. So then we take a look at the defensive side, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I still have Aaron Donald, right? If I'm the Rams, I still have Aaron Donald, and he's about to be 32 here. Last year didn't play the final 6 games because of an ankle injury, still made a Pro Bowl for the 9th straight year. He had basically 50 tackles, 10 of those were for loss. He had 5 sacks, 16 pressures. And I'm just imagining the pair with 3rd round pick from Tennessee and Byron Young, because I think Byron Young, with Aaron Donald getting all these double teams, I think Byron Young's going to break out. Last season at Tennessee, 7 sacks and 12 tackles for loss. Didn't play the whole season. All right. So I look at Byron Young, I look at Aaron Donald. Obviously, those 2 pieces enough aren't to have top 10 defense in the National Football League. But when I'm looking at losing Jalen Ramsey, I'm looking at losing Bobby Wagner, Leonard Floyd, et cetera, et cetera. You lost a huge chunk on the defensive side, but it should still be with hidden gems and with Aaron Donald and your current pieces, like Fuller. I don't think they're going to be the worst defense in the National Football League. So basically my point here is, even in the NFC West, I don't think the Rams will I don't think that they'll win less than 7 games. So I would go over on the 6.5. I would put it at least 7. I think the Rams personally are going to win 8 or 9 games. You can chalk it up a number of different ways. You could go 7 to 10 wins possibly. At the end of the day, Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford and Aaron Donald with Sean McVay are still on the same football team. So I really don't think their team is going to be as bad as possible. I mean, really, they should be in the mix. They might not be in the playoffs. They might not make the playoffs next season, but they should be in the mix. Sean McVay's only had 1 losing season, which was this past year. In the many years he's been with the Rams, he's always led them to some type of relevancy. I saw something cool comparing them to the Seahawks, where it's like, if you have a good coach, you should have a good enough team. We could look in the NFC West and look at the Seahawks from last season. They were projected 5.5 wins. They ended up winning 9, and they ended up having the lead over the San Francisco 49ers with a healthy Brock Purdy at halftime. So anything can happen, especially in the National Football League. And I just look at this Rams team last season. I'm like, well, they were severely banged up. So yes, they lost some pieces, but if they're just healthy, if their big trio is healthy, they should be in the mix. All right, they should be in the mix. Rams fans, NFL fans, let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comment section. As always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, and give me a win-loss projection on this Rams team down below